You know, I knew in some messed up way I was going to be back to Harman Smith. I knew I wouldn't be able to stay away forever. So, Cody, what do you have to say about the Steam Deck? Is the Steam Deck a success? Is it a failure? What is it? Let's talk about Harman Smith. And yes, we are going to have some fun with this one here, folks. But yes, I am pretty sure Harman Smith is going to act like Harman Smith and say everything's a flop because Steam Deck isn't Nintendo. It doesn't have that precious little Nintendo's logo on it, so that means it's an immediate failure.
With the
This, ladies and gentlemen, is peak fanboyism. Look at this man sitting down in his pajamas, probably in the middle of the day, playing his, Nintendo. Probably look at everything in the background. This is how you know you're dealing with a low IQ person when you present yourself like this instead of I don't know, a more dignified way. And of course, you have your precious little Nintendo stuff in the background. Funko Pops don't count, damn it. They are awesome and anyone says different.
release of the Steam Deck, I have been casually observing the reactions of fanboys online. There have been, as I expected, there was a very, very immediate decline in interest in the Steam Deck after it came out. Like now, the fantasy of the Steam Deck, the fantasy of
The reason why the conversation for the Steam Deck is fading is because, surprise, it wasn't for everyone, and that's how things naturally progress. There's a reason why not everyone's still talking about Ghost of Tsushima. There's a reason why people aren't really even talking about Horizon Forbidden West right now, because it's not the newest, hottest thing. The newest, hottest thing always takes priority, or rumors of the next newest, hottest thing. Get my point here? It's not the hot thing, so naturally people aren't going to talk about it as much.
having like a console that can play everything that a Nintendo Switch can, immediately faded with the reality that like, oh wow, like Steam Deck can't play even all the games on Steam, like let alone games on Switch or games on other platforms. Like
Can the Steam Deck run God of War 2018? Yes. Can it run Horizon 1? Yes. Death Stranding? Yes. Days Gone? Yes. Can it run Cyberpunk? Yes. Can it run Left 4 Dead 2? Yes. Guess what this Nintendo Switch can't run? Those games plus hundreds of more. It's not a matter of the developers want to put them on there because obviously extra money and all of that. It's the fact that the hardware on the Nintendo Switch is so weak in comparison to the PS4 and Xbox, One, that it's just not worth the developers trying. Unless they are going to actually take a lot of time out of their schedule, a lot of times out of development of other games, just to make sure a game can run on the Switch that doesn't look like complete ass.
like I said early on, the Steam Deck had no audience, but in my circle, in my demographic, among like my community, I have been bombarded with requests to talk more about Steam Deck, to talk more about this.
Here's a question. If there was no demand for a product like the Steam Deck, why would Valve make it? Why would Valve make it? Because there is a demand for it. There is a demand for a new piece of hardware in the handheld slash PC market. The fact that you could take a good handful of your games on the go without any real big change, and you could do this all for no extra cost except for how much the Steam Deck itself costs, is pretty damn appealing to some people. Even a guy like me who rarely plays on PC because grandma computer is someone who would be very interested in the Steam Deck because it can also work as a console if you get the decking, compact, the deck unit with it, where you can actually play games on your TV. I can't lie, I actually am way more interested in a Steam Deck than I am any new Nintendo console that come out. That's me though. So just because it doesn't appeal to your demographic doesn't mean it doesn't appeal to some demographic or many different demographics. Hell, do you realize this means you can actually take, in theory, a lot of role-playing games, a lot of RTS games on the go? Something like 20 years ago, we never thought that could happen, but it can happen now. Shows technology has changed, and meanwhile, Nintendo is Nintendo.
console and like its failings, its problems, and I really don't think it's necessary. I really don't, because even the most hardcore of Steam fanboys are not playing their Steam Decks. The entire point of the Steam Deck, the entire reason it exists, the entire reason like the fanboys hyped it up so much, the entire reason that like third parties are throwing all their weight behind it, it's to try and downplay the Switch. It's to try and create like artificially create a competitor for Switch, even though there really is no demand for one.
Before I do this take, sorry, I know it's interrupting the flow of the video and everything, but I had to get that swig in. So, Harman, this just shows the mental gymnastics you're making here. Not everything is done to respond to Nintendo. The Steam Deck is a product that if you are interested in it, it is available for people to buy. And Valve fanboys, is there really such thing as a Valve fanboy right now? You want to know why the Valve fanboys aren't talking about the Steam Deck? Because they're playing it there, sweetie. They're playing the Steam Deck. They're not just sitting there talking about it. They're actually playing them. They are talking about how convenient it is to play these games on the go. But hey, reality, who cares, right? By the way, a multi-million subscriber YouTube channel made a video talking about, his name's Linus Tech Tips, and he might tell you that the Steam Deck might be pretty necessary these days.
Companies are desperate for Nintendo to kind of step aside and go bankrupt, and at this point in time, it doesn't really feel like it's going to happen. Like, the third parties did everything in their power to ruin Nintendo's console division, to ignore their handhelds, to ignore their business entirely, and they failed.
Silence, peasants! Don't talk to
Third-party companies are trying to ruin Nintendo. That's a new one. Harman, you need to stop listening to Alex Jones. You need to stop taking his ideas and using them, because that's some fucking conspiracy theory shit that just has absolute no grounds. But of course, let's just put special there, sweetheart. So, don't know what to say about this.
They did everything they could, and there's just nothing more they can do. Even by directly copying Nintendo and like releasing tablets like this, and like trying to tell their audience like, oh man, it's so much more powerful, it's so much better. Like, it's never ever going to outperform the Switch. Not financially, not hardware wise, not software wise. Like, there's nothing they can possibly do. All they can do is really keep up this facade and keep trying to convince people that like Nintendo is for kids and that the Steam Deck is for adult gamers. The market.
God damn it!
Thank you, Ike. I don't even know how to respond to this. The Steam Deck is outperforming the Nintendo Switch. It doesn't take that much to find out. Simple little Google search or checking out Linus Tech Tips or Digital Foundry will tell you that pretty obviously. But it's just, I think the thumbnail says it best, folks. I think Nintendo fucking bought this bitch years ago, and they're just brainwashing them at this point. Now, I'm going to warn you, folks. The next thing I hear here, because I did skip a little forward ahead time, so that's why this seems like it's a little out of sync. It's so stupid, so mentally retarded, because I'm going to say the word now, because I'm past the 8-minute mark. It honestly just, wow. But get ready to hear the dumbest thing you could ever hear from a Nintendo fanboy. And I mean it. The dumbest thing you can ever hear.
No reason to have multiple platforms. Like, I always see people try and argue that, like, competition is good for the industry, having different pieces of hardware is a good thing. It's not. Like, really, what companies should be doing is releasing competitive pieces of software on the same hardware, right? They should all be Nintendo exclusive. There should be no Amazon Luna, there should be no like Google Stadia, there should be no Xbox Game Pass, there should be no PlayStation, there should be no Apple Arcade, there should be no mobile game market. Like, everything should just be primarily released on a single gaming platform. And
What do I say to that? What can I say? Well, that's simple enough. Wrong! Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. If there is no competition for Nintendo, Nintendo can do whatever they want. You think paying $60, the $60 for online for a year? You think that's a lot? Nintendo gonna make that $1,000, and $80 for brand new games, or $100 for brand new games. Because when there's no competition to make you do better, guess what happens? The company that controls the entire industry basically can do whatever the hell they want. Can you tell, man?
Slowly marching towards that inevitable reality where these alternative markets just aren't that viable. I would say at this stage, the only reason that like Apple Arcade even exists is because like Apple is just throwing money at it. Like the only reason Xbox Game Pass exists is because Phil Spencer is just throwing money at it. Like we're dealing with the biggest companies in the world who are willing to blow billions of dollars to attempt to compete with Nintendo, but Nintendo.
I'm checked out after that meltdown I had. Just because, what else do you say? What do you say to something like that? Something that makes you that mad. Should I continue the video after? I don't feel like doing it because it's freaking frustrating to talk about this guy because he knows exactly what to say to get under people's skin. He's doing this all for clout. That's why he's talking about the Steam Deck. You know, he talks about how like he doesn't want to talk about the Steam Deck at all, but he's talking about it in his stream chats. He's talking about it because he knows it brings in the views. And you know, I can't disrespect the hustle, but I definitely disrespect the freaking hustler. Harman Smith proved how mentally retarded he is here by simply just saying something so stupid and sticking to it to the point that I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say for the rest of this video. I think this man needs to have his head examined. I think he's collecting a social security check because there is no way in hell someone like this could. I don't know. I don't know how he even puts his pants on. I get like maybe he's trolling. That's probably part of it. He's trolling. But a part of me also believes this is sincere. So I'm going to leave you guys off with our national anthem here. Here at that PlayStation Gamer, kind of end the video on a high note. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube algorithm BS. And until next time, guys, this is that PlayStation Gamer. Sign out. Sorry for the lighting, by the way. I know it's different than what we're used to. Change the layout because I do that sometimes. Peace out. And have a good day.
Trying to defend Nintendo. Stop trying to defend Nintendo. They don't care about you. They don't care about the fans. They don't care about anything but getting in your pocket. Hey, stop trying to defend Nintendo. Stop trying to defend Nintendo. Stop trying to defend Nintendo. They only want your money. They don't care how they get it. All you're doing is licking the boot. Licking the boot. That's all you're doing. Hey, stop trying to defend Nintendo.